Ladies and gentlemen, these are the biggest choke jobs by every team in the NBA.
There's nothing better as a sports fan than watching multi-million-dollar superstar athletes poop themselves in the clutch, as long as it's not your favorite athlete. Because the NBA playoffs are almost here, and because I'm such a negative person, this video is going to look at the biggest chokes by every NBA team. Enjoy. The Atlanta Hawks, getting swept in the 2015 Eastern Conference Finals after winning 60 games. The 2015 Hawks were called the Spurs of the East for their unselfish basketball and for racking up wins. So it wasn't a surprise when they got to the Eastern Conference Finals. But what was a surprise was how easily they were manhandled by the Cleveland Cavaliers, led by the newly returned LeBron James. Damn. Not only was Atlanta swept in embarrassing fashion, Kyrie Irving missed 2 games with foot injuries, and Kevin Love didn't even play at all. It was yet another example of why people don't take the Hawks franchise seriously in big moments. Boston Celtics, losing Game 7 at home in the 1973 Conference Finals after winning 68 games. The Celtics have raised 17.
I ain't gonna lie, if that's our biggest choke, I'll take it, bro.
That's not your biggest choke.
I'll take it, bro. Our biggest choke, it was in 73, back when Reem was Lou out. Come on, bro. Come on, man.
That's not your biggest choke, man. I keep it casual, man. Y'all also got solo squatted by LeBron. LeBron about to be on this list a lot. Y'all got solo squatted by LeBron.
Is that a choke when we weren't supposed to win?
I think so. I think so. Y'all had it in your hands, and the way you lost the game definitely was a choke. Jaylen Brown and Terry couldn't buy a bucket to save their life. That's a choke. To me, that's a choke.
Well, let's hear him out, man. Maybe 73 was crazy.
I fucking bet.
Yo, I don't know what happened in 73, but
championship banners and been to 22 NBA Finals, but the team with the most regular season wins in franchise history was a team that didn't even make it that far. In fact, for all the legendary players the Celtics have, including Bill Russell and Larry Bird, it was a team that had neither of those that won the most. The 73 Celtics were just on the upswing a few years after the legendary Bill Russell had retired and the Celtics dynasty had seemingly ended. Russell dynasty holdover John Havlicek, paired with MVP Dave Cowens and JoJo White, were ushering in a new era of Celtics dominance. And after dispatching the Hawks in the conference semis, they went to the Eastern Conference Finals versus the Knicks, and John Havlicek got hurt, and that's when things got messed up. The Knicks went up 3-1, but the Celtics did fight back to push to Game 7 at their home court, where they ended up losing in embarrassing fashion by 16 points. Hey, at least the next year they would win it all. Brooklyn Nets, blowing a 3-2 lead in the 2021 Eastern Conference semifinals, where Kevin Durant's foot was famously on the line at the end of Game 7. The 2021 Brooklyn Nets were a star-filled team for a team that really didn't have much history. With the additions of Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and a trade for James Harden, people thought the Nets were title favorites, and rightfully so. In the first round, they just breezed through Boston, and it looked to be more of the same in the second round, as they went up 2-0 on Milwaukee, a team who at the time was known for choking in the postseason. But after losing a close Game 3 and Game 4, Durant had a historically dominant performance in Game 5, put Brooklyn up 3-2. The three-headed monster of Durant, Kyrie, and Harden was basically just Durant at this point, as Kyrie was injured and Harden was injured as well.
Damn,
Harden would come back to play in Game 7, which, to be honest, helped Milwaukee more than it helped Brooklyn. Game 7 was an amazing, legendary game, with both sides going back and forth the entire way, leading Milwaukee to a 109-107 lead with 1 second left, which is when Kevin Durant hit an amazing shot that appeared to be a three-pointer that would have put the Nets in the Eastern Conference Finals. However, upon review, it's revealed that Durant's disturbingly large feet were just on the three-point line, making it a two-pointer and sending the game into overtime. In overtime, the Nets took an early lead, but they quickly ran out of gas, as Durant finished the period 0-6, and the Nets
we don't talk about that, though. We don't talk about that,
bro. He just saved the game, bro.
And their season. The next season, Harden was traded, and Durant, Kyrie, and Harden ended up with just one playoff series win in a year and a half. Charlotte Hornets blowing a 3-2 lead in the 2001 Eastern Conference semifinals. It was pretty hard to find a biggest choke for a franchise that's never even made a conference finals and only won 4 playoff series in their entire existence. But for those hardcore Hornets fans, this one probably stings the most. The Hornets went up 3-2 on a very talented Bucks team featuring Ray Allen, Big Dog Robinson, and Sam Cassell, who just so happens to be the most handsome player in NBA history. Take my word for it. Up 3-2 with Game 6 at home, the Hornets tied the game at 97 with 46 seconds left and were this close to moving on, but Ray Allen made a three, and the Hornets went cold, pushing it to a Game 7.
Hey, shout out to
Ray,
man.
effort fell short as the
People
Bucks
don't know about Ray for real, bro.
5 to end the Hornets
People don't know about the real
season
Ray
and go
Allen,
on
man.
to the Eastern Conference
saying.
Finals versus the Sixers. Chicago Bulls losing the 2011 Eastern Conference Finals in 5 games after winning 62 games with MVP Derrick Rose. 2011 was the first time since the Bulls dynasty of the 90s where the Bulls were actually really good. First-year coach Tom Thibodeau helped make the Bulls a defensive juggernaut, and that, combined with hometown kid Derrick Rose's amazingness offensively, the Bulls led the league in wins with 62. And Rose won a questionable MVP, let's just say. Nevertheless, everybody predicted the Bulls would meet the newly formed Big Three Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals, and that's exactly what happened. Game 1, though, was not very competitive as the Bulls won by 21 points to take a 1-0 lead, and at that point everybody in Bulls land thought the title was theirs. But this would be the closest the Bulls would ever come to a championship in the D. Rose Thibodeau era, although nobody would know it at the time. In 3 of the last 4 games, Chicago
they're like, yo, this is just the start of something special, man. Yo, D. Rose gonna be back. They said the same thing about the Thunder the year after. Yo, this is the start of something special, man. It's bronze time, but hey, man, Russ, Harden, and KD, they gonna be back multiple times. Nah, bro.
This motherfucker LeBron just didn't age, bro. It just didn't get worse. You can't plan for that, bro. Like Jordan fell off, Kobe at some point fell off. This motherfucker, Bron, good tomorrow. This is crazy, bro.
Nah, I just hate it when people do that now. It's like this is a young team that goes deep in the playoffs to have a crazy amount of success and then they lose. Yeah, they're gonna be back. I'm not of that mindset anymore, man. If you're there, win that shit, bro. Win that shit, because you never know what the fuck can happen. That's why when people said the same thing about the 2018 Celtics, I'm like, okay, but like, I don't know, man. I don't know if we'll ever be back. Atlanta, same thing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they got DeAndre Hunter and Cam Reddish. This is only the beginning. Yeah, come on, bro. Timberwolves, come on, bro.
Oh yeah,
come on, bro. Now imagine
when
Jimmy ages and Wiggins takes over and Cat is Cat. Yeah, man, stop it, bro. Stop it.
Shit, I thought you was talking about the T-Wolves of last year. Motherfucker, they did that, and now nobody's expecting it. That's tough.
More recently, though, the Pelicans. Let's talk about it.
Oh, yeah. But to be fair to them, we know what's up, bro.
They doing this without Zion, and they're going to keep doing this without Zion. I don't know what to say.
Yep, basically.
Either tied the game or had a lead in the fourth
quarter. Oh my God, good flow.
Didn't do anything with it. But the most embarrassing loss was probably the Game 5 loss that ended their season, as they were up 12 with about 3 minutes left before D. Wade and completely took over.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. He's really going to go down.
The game and the Bulls season would end with Derrick Rose getting blocked by LeBron, concluding a series where Rose had more shot attempts than points. This is easily the worst thing Derrick Rose has ever done. Cleveland Cavaliers losing the 2010 Eastern Conference semifinals
they don't know about that for real, man. They don't know about that
61 wins.
Fresh my memory. I can't recall. Oh, this is to you.
It's Toronto, man. Big though.
Conference finals to Orlando should be a bigger show, considering that was what prevented us from getting a LeBron-Kobe final. But considering LeBron played out of his mind in that series, and the Magic just straight up shot the hell out of the ball, I look at that less of a choke as
the Cavs were favored going into that 2010 series,
which would be the last in LeBron's first tenure in Cleveland, was way more unexplainable. After easily dispatching the Bulls in the first round, the Cavs were expected to win pretty easily over the Celtics in the conference semis, and after going up 1-0 and 2-1 respectively, things were going as normal. But then something happened over the last 3 games. There are rumors about certain off-court shenanigans that might have had an impact on the rest of the series. But for the final 3 games, LeBron James did not look anything like the dominant MVP he had been for the last 2 years.
Big dough happened, man.
Efficient and turnover prone. And in all 3 games, the Celtics won pretty handily. Most notably, the Game 5 at home, with the series tied 2-2. The Celtics destroyed the Cavaliers by 32 points. And
I don't know about big dough for
just
him,
15. Game 6 would see the Celtics shut the casket on LeBron's first tenure in Cleveland.
You know about Lakers right now.
85 win. But everybody who watched the series knows that he was nowhere close to being his best. And considering the fact that really none of the losses Cleveland had were close, this makes this all the more of a show. Dallas
on, bro.
Mavericks, losing the 2007 Western Conference first round in 6 games after winning 67 games with MVP Dirk. Really, this came down to
that's
the two
embarrassing.
choices. I could have gone with the 2006
67
finals, where the
win first
Mavs
round
were
exit
so
is
close to going
wild.
up 3-0 before blowing the last 4 games and losing. But they rebounded the next season to win 67 games, mostly in the NBA, and Dirk Nowitzki won his first and only MVP. It looked to be smooth sailing come postseason time, but that's not what happened. They played against a spunky, upstart, and fun Golden State Warriors team that was just lucky to make the playoffs. And after Golden State destroyed them in both Game 1 and 3 to take a 2-1 lead, Game 4 was basically the season for Dallas, and they ended up losing at the very end to fall down 3-1. They would extend the series to 6 games before they ended up losing in embarrassing fashion by 25 points in Game 6. Dirk Nowitzki played so far below his regular MVP standards in the regular season that he didn't even lead the Mavericks in scoring in the series. It led to a very, very uncomfortable
If
MVP
this should happen
press
today,
conference
bro,
where
we
he
would
got
not
the
let
award
Dirk
after he'd
live.
already been eliminated. Dirk would eventually right the ship with his legacy and win a championship,
had to
but
accept
there is a
MVP
reason why
after
he had a bit of a
elimination.
choker label before 2011 came around. Denver Nuggets, blowing a 3-2 lead in the 2019 Western Conference semifinals as a 2 seed. It was between either this series or the 2009 Western Conference finals when the Nuggets had the series tied 2-2 before losing in 6, but I went with the more recent series. Following a monster 4-overtime win in Game 3 by Portland to put them up 2-1, people thought the Nuggets were cooked, but surprisingly enough, they fought back to take a 3-2 lead. After Portland won Game 6 pretty handily, it all came down to a Game 7 in Denver, and it was very, very competitive despite Damian Lillard playing like complete dog shit. The Nuggets kept fighting back and had multiple possessions.
You becoming a Dame stan is hilarious. I will say that for sure.
Too much on Dame, 96 win, thanks in large part to the Nuggets shooting 7 for 24 from the field in the fourth quarter, including 0 of 6 from 3. This playoff series that happened 5 years ago is the biggest reason Jokic doesn't deserve MVP this year. Yeah, I'm really smart. Detroit Pistons, choking away the 1987 Eastern Conference Finals with Bird stealing the ball late in Game 5 and losing Game 7 on the road by just 3 points. I was torn between using this or the 88 Pistons, who lost to the Lakers in the finals after blowing a 3-2 lead, but that loss was heavily aided by a pretty shitty call on Bill Laimbeer for a foul that gave Kareem and the Lakers extra life. No, the reason 87 takes the cake is because it was much more self-inflicted. As I alluded to, with the series tied 2-2 and a lead with just a couple seconds left in Game 5 on the road in Boston Garden, where teams almost never won, Isaiah Thomas famously had an errant inbounds pass that was stolen by Larry Bird and laid up and in by Dennis Johnson for the Celtics to steal the win and go up 3-2. Detroit would win comfortably in Game 6 to push to Game 7, and although the Pistons fought valiantly in Game 7, they ended up losing by 3. If not for that Isaiah brain fart at the worst possible moment in Game 5, there's pretty much no doubt that the Pistons seal the deal in Game 6 and go on to the final. Golden State, blowing a 3-1 lead in the 2016 NBA Finals after winning 73 games. I mean, really, was there any other choice? Obviously, you all know my feelings on this subject because I've talked about it ad nauseum, and I still talk about it ad nauseum because it's so fucking funny. Bro. To this day, Steph fans still use endless pathetic excuses to try and justify their modern-day Jesus and top 2 player ever. Their words, not mine.
Modern-day Jesus
with 2 of the last
crazy.
3 games at home. Here's the facts. You want to say Draymond got suspended was the reason why the Cavs won. Draymond was suspended for 1 game, rightfully so, because he accumulated enough suspension points. Maybe don't go around whacking and kicking people in the nuts. The other one they say is, well, Andrew Bogut was hurt. Well, guess what? Andrew Bogut in the series was a minus 25 when he was on the court. So let's not act like he was prime Hakeem Olajuwon, all right? And the other one is, well, Steph was hurt, okay? Here's the deal. Steph missed no games due to injury. Clay missed no games due to injury. Iguodala missed no games due to injury. Draymond missed no games due to injury, okay? So I don't want to hear any excuses. The real reason your team lost this game and you blew the finals, and this is something that Steph fans just mentally can't come to grips with, and why they are so radicalized and pathologically dumb, is
he's going in.
Just straight up shit his pants. Guess who?
I wouldn't tolerate that.
I'm gonna throw him some bail on this. Just cause he didn't miss any games doesn't mean he wasn't playing hurt. All right, I'll give the Warriors fans some bail there, but at the end of the day, man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. You up 3-1, bro. You got just 1 game. You couldn't get 1 game. 3-1 blowouts are inexcusable to me, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
The boy choked, and I say this as a Curry, maybe not Jesus level fan, but I say this is a guy that likes Wardelius III. Definitely in my top 5 favorite players ever. My boy choked. It happens. It happens. You can't really do nothing else about it. Can't go back in time. Can't fret on it. He had a couple of good looks at the end of that series. At the end of the biggest game in the series, missed them both. I will be a part of the advocates or fans that do think that once bro got suspended, ironically 2 players dropped 42, and now everybody else on the team is hurt. I think that was the worst game in that franchise's history in the modern era, but that's tough.
Now what's a bigger choke job, 2011 or 2016?
You're talking about from just LeBron, right?
Yeah, LeBron versus Curry.
Yeah, that. I'm not going to lie, hot take that. Because while you're up 3-1, at least 1, clearly your team was injured and suspended. 2, at least the Cavaliers were this team that was like, hey, bro, you playing the GOAT type shit. Or like a GOAT level player for you niggas. So it's like, you got a lot going against you. And motherfuckers was assuming that Kyrie couldn't be guarded, all that stuff. With the Mavs, it was the world's biggest what the fuck. Like, I get it. Some of you are brainiacs and you knew the Mavs would win exactly the way they did, but it was the biggest what the fuck we've ever seen. Like, LeBron scored 8 points in the first quarter and we were like, yes, like he can't normally do that. Like we were treating bro like he was Austin Reeves out there, and Austin Reeves is the GOAT, so fair enough, but like it was so fucking weird. It was weird.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I think the bigger conversation, and I'm not saying that like LeBron in 2018 was bad or whatever, but like the difference between getting swept and blowing like a 3-0, 3-1 lead. In my opinion, getting swept is worse. Especially if you play bad. Yeah, getting swept. Yo, get a game, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least make it competitive, but nah, I can't.
Played in Game 7, Draymond Green. And guess what Draymond Green did in Game 7? He put up 32 points, 15 rebounds, and 9 assists. He had one of the greatest fucking Game 7s of all time. And all Steph Curry had to do in order to seal the championship was not play like complete crap. And what did Steph do? He was 6 for 19 for 17 points. He shot 1 for 6 in the fourth quarter, and he missed all of his last
choker in 2023 is
wild. Why the Warriors didn't win.
But this is
Steph
true.
Curry choked, and then 2 weeks later, he was in the Hamptons begging Kevin Durant to come join his team. They won the next 2 championships, and that's the only reason why right now we all, including LeBron fans, have to listen to morons try and debate Steph versus LeBron all the time because they have the same amount of rings, as if Kevin Durant doesn't exist, or as if Kyrie never got hurt in 20. But I digress. This Warriors choke will never be forgotten about, and I will personally make sure of that. Houston Rockets blowing a 3-2 lead in the 2018 Western Conference Finals, going 7 for 44 from 3 in Game 7 at home. A part of me wants to give the Rockets a pass for this because, as we know, Chris Paul went down with a hamstring issue after the exit. Just another example of Warriors luck, but I can't.
Yeah, bro, not too much, bro. Not too much on the
I like T-Mac, but come on, man.
They shot 10 for 34, scoring 25.
You know my origins. I was supposed to be a Rockets fan until I seen Kobe.
Was lost, right? They had one more chance at home, and again in the first half they had an 11-point halftime lead, and then they proceeded to miss 27 straight threes and lose the game on their home court, and the world was a worse place.
You can't not say this is number one, bro.
Before I get too angry. Indiana Pacers blowing a fourth quarter lead in Game 7 of the 1998 Eastern Conference Finals versus the Bulls. In an era full of watered-down plumbers and ice cream truck drivers, the 98 Indiana Pacers were the only team to take the Chicago Bulls to 7 games during their second three-peat, and really the only team that came legitimately close to actually beating them. Entering Game 7, the home team had won every single game in the series, and Indiana
had to watch the series
before Chicago fought back. But Indy did not go easy. With 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, they actually had the lead against the Bulls, thanks to an Antonio Davis shot. But the rest of the game,
that's like a half
5 minutes offensively for the Pacers was just very, very bad. An offensive foul, a turnover, a missed jumper, another turnover, 2 made free throws, a missed three-pointer, a tip-in, another turnover, and then 3 more misses ended the game with an 88-83 Bulls win, where they would go on to a 6-0 and win their 6th championship against Malone and John Stockton. To make matters worse, Michael Jordan shot just 3 for 12 in the second half of this game.
They could have won that one.
Just another reason Reggie Miller. LA Clippers blowing a 3-1 lead in the 2020 Western Conference semifinals after getting Kawhi and Paul.
Maybe a Lob City one, but
the 2020 Western Conference semifinals, which took place in the bubble, was supposed to be
I
a
thought the Lob City
formality for
Clippers
the
blew
inevitable
a 3-1 lead, too.
Lakers-Clippers Western
Did they
Conference
not?
Finals matchup.
Yeah, they
and it
did.
looked like we were right on track for that as the
Josh
Clippers
Smith
dominated to a
fucking
3-1
Corey
series
Brewer or some
lead.
shit.
But not only did the Clippers blow a 3-1 lead in
Oh,
the
yeah.
series, they
Wow.
blew
They
a
blew it to the
13-point
Rockets.
lead late in the
But
third
yeah, that was
quarter
a
in
bad
Game
series
5,
regardless.
just one win away from going to their first ever conference finals at the time. They also were up big at halftime
This
in
is
Game
worse,
6
though,
before
regardless.
combusting
Yeah,
in the second
thank
half of that
you. They
game.
were
They also had a 7-point
beating the
lead
shit
early in
out
the
of
second
them.
half of Game 7 before they completely crapped their pants. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard combined to shoot 2 for 18 in the second half of Game 7, and the Nuggets blew them out. Just another example of the Clippers.
Hold on. Let me just get this off my chest. This is not a long tangent, but let me just get this off my chest, man. You know what's funny? And someone tweeted it the other day. Shout out to the random tweet. Man, it's funny how the bubble played out, bro. If the Clippers had won, there were no bubbles excuses. But it literally was because the Lakers beat the Blazers, who y'all said would beat us, by the way, and the Clippers lost, that the bubble didn't matter. And I just wanted to go there. I see my team on here, so we gonna keep going. But it was just, that shit was so fucking wild to me, bro.
I'm gonna call cap because it's just gonna be Laker fans telling Clipper fans that their ring is a Mickey Mouse ring, bro. It would still be a Mickey Mouse ring, bro. Stop it.
Now, who said
You
we
ain't
ain't got
slick,
that dog
dog.
in us to hate?
You
Who
ain't
said we
slick.
ain't got the dog in us to hate? I'm just saying the shit was Mickey unless we played each other. And I think we can agree on that. The shit was gonna be Mickey unless we played each other in the West. So it is what it is. But they love to hate on us, man. They hate on that purple gold 1-0, by the way. All right, let's go.
Now, before we go though, they've said every ring is Mickey, like ever. What was the last like non-Mickey ring? Like no
Damn.
asterisks, whatever.
What is the last time NBA Twitter unanimously said that's a good ring?
Probably be what, 09? 09 Lakers? Even then, it's like, oh, you didn't face LeBron though.
You ain't face LeBron. Yeah, you ain't face LeBron. Maybe 2010.
Celtics fans, Perk was injured. That's the argument there. Perk was injured for that one. I know it's weak, but I'm saying
no way.
No,
No way.
No, I'm telling you what people are saying.
Okay, 2011 can't be Mickey.
2011, yeah.
Yeah, I want to say no way y'all are saying 2011. I ain't.
And you know what's crazy, Sage? That's what makes it worse. I don't even want to make this about LeBron, bro. He can't. Where do I go? Where do I go, bro?
What do you say?
You
Yeah, what is
bro.
it? Like LeBron fans, and that's how I know 2011 is the last one. Because Shannon Sharp himself will be on like, hey, yo, 2011 happened. Get over it. Like, he has no defense. He's like, it
2011 is tough, bro. I ain't gonna
2011
lie.
is tough.
Finals after trading for Wilt Chamberlain. If there's any
I ain't seen
historical
six,
comparison
I
for
really
the
don't
big three
care.
men
Oh,
who
shit.
came together in 2010, it would be the 1969
I'd say
Lakers,
2011
as
for us.
already armed with Hall of Famers Jerry West and Elgin
the
Baylor.
shit
They
beat out of
added
us
the
by
best player in the league at the time, Wilt Chamberlain, to an already formidable duo.
What is-
Many
Oh,
is this the
people
Lakers?
just consider
Oh,
the
no, it's
Lakers
easily when they
shoo-in
lost
to
to Bill
finally
Russell,
get
bro.
over the hump and win another
Nah.
title. And that's how it looked as
I don't
the
know
Lakers
ball. I don't
jumped
know
out
ball.
to
I
a
ain't gonna
2-0
lie.
series lead. And they were
I
on the
don't know.
verge of going up 3-1 before Sam Jones hit a clutch shot to win Game 4. Nevertheless, the Lakers bounced back to win Game 5 and had 2 chances to finally overcome their curse with the Boston Celtics. But a 9-point loss in Game 6 set up the legendary Game 7, which went down to the wire and featured a 40-point triple-double by Finals MVP Jerry West, who is still the only losing
my
player to ever
God.
win the award. Armed with balloons in the ceiling, thanks to Lakers owner Jack Kent Cook, the
This is
Celtics
what-
were
hey,
pissed,
this is
and they
tough.
played like it,
This
as
is
they
bad.
were able to squeak out a 2-point win in a fourth quarter that featured
Oh
Wilt
my
Chamberlain
God.
asking out of the game due to an injury. Something that Bill Russell, who was playing in his final ever NBA game, noticed and held against Wilt for years, causing a rift between the two. But nevertheless, despite Jerry West's excellence, the Lakers
Jesus.
choked away yet another final series to the Celtics. The 8th time in an 11-year span they lost to the Celtics in the NBA Finals.
I ain't gonna lie, we don't talk about it enough because it's not in our era. We don't care. It's the 60s. But this right here, deadass, might be the worst like choke job
That's bad.
in NBA
yeah.
history. Cause just put this into perspective, chat. Imagine like, I don't know, the Nets super team, right? KD, Harden, and Kyrie joining one season, right? They're running to LeBron in the finals, but LeBron doesn't have a coach. And LeBron is the coach. And LeBron is in his last year in the league. And you lose to LeBron? Nah, bro.
That's
That's tough
very
right there, bro.
tough. As a nigga, who is a Lakers fan, a la me wearing the shirt, just learned about it. That is I've never heard about this, funny enough. That is very tough, bro. Yeah, I didn't know ball. I wasn't familiar with that game. Yeah, that's the worst. That's the worst I heard in a minute. That's fucking awful. That's fucking bad.
A First Take was around back then. Memphis Grizzlies blowing 3 fourth-quarter leads
Really?
in the 2022 Western Conference semifinals versus Golden State with home court advantage. The very brash and confident Grizzlies
Didn't even think it was
faced the
that bad,
Warriors
didn't
in the semifinals
Yeah, I'm about to
last season,
say.
and we all know how it went. Game 1 was
do
right
not
down
like
to the
the
wire,
Warriors
but
so
a game
much.
the
You
Warriors
said that's
absolutely
their biggest
stole at the
joke.
very end with a super clutch Klay Thompson 3 after a couple
I
Steph
thought it would be
Curry
one of them
wide open bricks.
OKC
Memphis
series.
would rebound to win Game 2 to tie the series, but by that point, the Warriors had stolen home court advantage. And in Game 3, they blew out the Grizzlies by 30 points and also saw Ja Morant go down for the rest of the series. But despite Morant going down, the Grizzlies had golden opportunities to win Games 4 and 6 on the road, having fourth-quarter leads in both of them
They
before
could've
their
beat the Warriors,
offense
man. I don't know what to
staggered
tell you.
and went nowhere. Late in
It's
the
all right.
game,
They're going
Dylan
home again
Brooks
this
drew
year.
the charge.
We'll
Stunner.
update it.
I mean,
We'll
I
update
just
it next
can't
year.
believe that Steph Curry
2023
and the
Lakers.
Warriors benefited from a superstar opponent getting hurt against them. I mean, when has that ever happened? This
Yo,
was
bro,
a
not
series
too
that
much
if
on the
Ja Morant
Dubs.
had been healthy, the
Yo,
Grizzlies
yeah,
could have
now
won
he
in
got
6.
it. Now he got
Miami
it.
Heat blowing a 2-1 lead in the 2011 NBA Finals
Easy.
with a super team. There's really
Easy.
nothing that I can say here that you already haven't heard a million times over every single day from the
No, don't
Bronx.
sugarcoat it
This is a
now.
series that took place almost 12 years ago, and it still gets brought up at least 5 times a day. If
Yeah.
LeBron haters could
I'ma
hold
make
on
it
to a
6,
job
yeah.
the way they hold on to this
But-
series, they'd be a lot more successful in life, but I digress. The Heat probably sweep the Dallas Mavericks
That's what I
in
said.
this
No
series if LeBron
injuries,
played
just
anywhere close to his
pure
potential.
hoops.
Instead, for reasons that are still
Hey, Mark
unknown
Cuban,
and
come
hard to
on first.
decipher, LeBron completely
About
crapped
what
his
he did
pants,
to
especially
y'all,
in the
bruh.
last 3 games, which were all losses for Miami. And games that, despite LeBron being AWOL for most of, Miami had golden opportunities to win. In terms of
Yep.
biggest chokes ever, regardless of team, this is certainly up there, and LeBron James was the main culprit of it. But it is annoying how his haters act like it's the last series he ever played in. He's won 4 rings and 4 finals since then. It would have been more if not
Yeah,
for
he
Kevin
pushed
Durant and
the
Kyrie
agenda,
Irving.
Okay,
agenda.
bro.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a-
Yeah,
Okay.
this
Okay,
is crazy.
yeah, because you didn't do that for Steph Curry in 2016, man. But people, 3 more rings since then, man. I don't know what to tell you.
This
Damn.
is crazy.
Come on, bro. Not too much. Not too much, bro.
Rings since 2016, and Braun got what? 2? No, 3. He got the same amount. What the fuck? Oh, he got 4. My fault. He got 4. It's still crazy, bro. It's still crazy.
About it. You gonna cry? Milwaukee Bucks losing
no.
3 home games
Oh,
in
I
the
have.
1974 NBA Finals, including Game 7. The Bucks were looking for their second championship in the Kareem era and their second in 4 years. They led the league in wins and
Boston
easily
back in the
swept
day,
through
boy,
the
I
first 2
tell you.
rounds to make the finals versus a Celtics team that had some experience, but many thought, hey, the Bucks have Kareem. They should win this. The key stat, as I alluded to, is that the Bucks went 1-3 at home in this series. And after a famous game-winning shot in Game 6 in Boston Garden by Kareem
Famous?
forced the
I
series
never
to
heard of
7.
him.
Many thought a
I
legendary
understand.
game was
First
in
time
store
seeing
when
this. Yeah,
actually
call it back,
there
man.
really was nothing
Oh,
memorable about
shit.
it. The Celtics won by 15 points in a disappointing end to the Bucks season. Kareem would
Right.
play just 1 more year in Milwaukee before going off to the Lakers, where he spent the last 14 seasons of his career. Had
Yeah, that's what the
Kareem
Eastern
won this
Conference Finals gonna look
championship,
like,
he'd have
man. No
7
cap.
rings,
You
and
see what I'm
maybe he'd be
saying?
considered the GOAT.
What,
by a
Bucks
lot more.
Celtics?
Minnesota Timberwolves
Yeah, if
blowing
they get past the Heat, yeah.
Oh my god! Now he's flexing
Yeah.
the Heat.
Yeah.
Oh
Shout
my
out Jimbo,
God.
man. Shout out
You're
Jimbo.
a coward. You're a coward. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Hey, I knew people was gonna rush to our ranking vid after what we said about Jimmy on the play-in. I said
And Kawhi.
playoffs. I said playoffs, nigga. Kawhi, hey, fuck him. But I said playoffs for Jumbo, bro. And again, bro, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. He sees that
Hey,
PNG
man.
on the screen. He sees the PNG on the screen, NBA playoffs. He 1-0 lead or some shit. He just gets weird. It's whatever.
3 huge fourth-quarter leads in the 2022 first round versus Memphis.
He thinks two of the biggest chokes.
The Timberwolves shocked the world by winning Game 1 on the road against Memphis last year before dropping 2 in a row. Game 3 at home was the first time they blew a big lead late in the game, but they rebounded in Game 4 to tie the series at 2. Game 5 was when people started to realize, hey, maybe this isn't going to end well, as they blew a huge fourth-quarter lead to go down 3-2. Surely it couldn't happen again in Game 6, right? That's exactly what happened again. Minnesota looked like the best team in the series 90% of the time, and yet they still lost in 6 because they didn't know how to close. New Orleans Pelicans blowing a 3-2 lead in the 2008 Western Conference semifinals and losing Game 7 at home. The 2008 New Orleans Hornets, as they were called then, were easily the best team in franchise history, and it was also Chris Paul's breakout season where he arguably should have won MVP. After easily dispatching the Mavericks in the first round, the Hornets went up 2-0 on the defending champion Spurs with relative ease, and Chris Paul was dominating. And after another blowout win in Game 5 at home to go up 3-2,
shout out to Manu,
Chris Paul was going to make his first ever conference finals in just a short season, but that was not the case. The Spurs won in a blowout in Game 6, and with Game 7 in New Orleans, the Spurs won a grind-out game 91-82, relatively easily. Nobody would really know it at the time, but this would be the first of many playoff chokes by Chris Paul. Paul didn't even make his first conference finals.
He does not like point guards.
This series.
Yeah.
New York Knicks blowing a 3-2 lead in the 94 NBA Finals, losing games 6 and 7 by just 8 points combined. For many years in the 90s, the Knicks couldn't get by Michael Jordan, but once Michael Jordan went off to suck at baseball in 94, they finally got through the Eastern Conference to make the finals. Unfortunately for them, there was another Hall of Famer from the 84 draft class waiting for them, Hakeem Olajuwon. In what was billed as a matchup of two great centers, Olajuwon completely took a dump all over Patrick Ewing, who for the series had 132 points on 160
I know,
shots.
Chad, he's better, but
despite Ewing sucking so hard offensively, the Knicks' defense was so elite that it gave them a 3-2 lead after 5, one game away from the elusive title that had eluded Patrick Ewing ever since he came so heralded out of Georgetown in 1985. Game 6 was the Knicks' first chance to clinch a title since 1973, and John Starks played great, putting up 27 points with sharpshooting, making 5 threes. But unfortunately for him, his shot on the last possession to win the game was blocked by Olajuwon, sending it to a Game 7, where, well, regression hit Starks hard. Starks, who had arguably been the Knicks' best player all series, shot 2 for 18 in Game 7, including 0 of 11 from 3.
Hey, I didn't know that. Hey, shut up.
Were in it to the very end, losing by 6 points. If Starks had been even somewhat below average, as opposed to outright terrible in Game 7, the Knicks probably win, and Patrick Ewing would have a championship on his resume. Oklahoma City Thunder blowing a 3-1 lead in the 2016 Western Conference Finals to the Warriors. Fresh off of upsetting the 67-win Spurs in the semifinals, the Thunder jumped out to a 3-1 lead over the 73-win Warriors. Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook seemingly finally figured out how to play together in big moments.
I still remember that home crowd, man. That OKC home crowd was something else.
It was Game 6 where the Thunder truly.
Damn, we had the Oracle and
a lot of it was making a bunch of insane shots. As the best with 11 3-pointers. But the real culprit for the OKC collapse was Kevin Durant.
Just had to ruin the rivalry.
Points in Game 5, but he was 12 for 31 shooting. But Game 6 was his worst.
I'm so mad
he
brought
just
a fucking
10 for 31 from the
for
field,
y'all,
including 1 for 7 in the fourth quarter, failing to put the game away. In Game 7, the Thunder would keep it competitive most of the way before the Warriors pulled away late. Durant only took 14 shots in the first 40 minutes or so of the game, playing shockingly conservative. And then, worst of all, a couple months later, he went joined
only
the
14
team that he blew a 3-1 lead to, which blew in the league for almost 3 seasons. Thanks a lot,
Never mad at
Kevin.
it. Never got mad at it.
Orlando Magic getting swept.
Really? You didn't get mad at it?
I was mad. I mean, it was like, oh, well, we know who's going to win, but I weren't mad. Ultimately, like, my mindset was, all right, dick move, not bitch. Mindset was, bro, y'all done told him that he's not an alpha when he's the better player on the team. You see him literally playing more reserve because he is deferring to Russ and everything, and then he chokes a game, and it's like, all right, so you're a loser. And he's like, all right, you know what? I'll be a winner. Fuck you. What are you going to do about it? And then it created a bad guy for everybody to hate. Now, that first year, who the fuck cares? Like, we all knew it. But year 2, motherfuckers was loaded. Motherfuckers just lost. Shit tough.
All right,
The Rockets?
All right,
the Rockets?
Nah,
the Rockets?
Nah. This is just a 2016 Lakers fan that didn't really care about the NBA because y'all weren't competing for anything, man. That's what it was, bro. That's what it was. That's what it was, man. Y'all the baby Lakers. KD goes to Golden State. It's like it ain't affecting our business. You see what I'm saying? So it is what it is, bro.
Look, bro. You could have got there and faced them. You could have got there and faced them, bro. Again, everybody was loading up to fold. The Celtics folded. The Rockets folded. The Cavs, I ain't gonna lie, I can't necessarily say you folded, but you lost. Shit tough, bro. Shit tough.
1995 NBA Finals, choking away games 1 and 3 specifically. The 95 Magic are the only team post-1990 to defeat the Michael Jordan Bulls in a playoff series. And you would think that any team good enough to beat the 90s Bulls in a playoff series would be a shoo-in to win it all. And that's what it looked like going into the finals.
Is this when he bitched
Rockets, who were the but remember, the Magic had
it was when he bitched David Robinson. Yeah,
expected to be competitive. But in game 1 in Orlando, the Magic had the game all but wrapped up before Nick Anderson choked away the game at the line, missing 4 straight free throws. Houston would go on to win, and this seemingly screwed with Orlando's mind.
What's up with you?
Houston would go on to win the series in a sweep, and the Shaq and Penny era in Orlando would only last
there was one new name that got in the top 10.
Philadelphia blowing a 3-1 lead in the 1968 Eastern Division Finals, with 2 of the last 3 games at home with MVP Wilt Chamberlain. The 68 76ers were coming off of a legendary championship season, Wilt's first, and they continued that excellence in 68, winning a league-high 62 games, breezing through the Knicks in the first round and going up 3-1 versus the Celtics. The team
I'm about to say it's Embiid losing to the baby Celtics, bro. That's what it is.
Game 5 in Philly was a chance for the Sixers to go to their second straight finals, but the Celtics won by 18. Game 6 in Boston Garden saw Boston.
Damn, they was getting that ass smacked.
Where the choking really happened. The 76ers.
Yo, bro, that's the funny thing about the 60 Celtics is if you look back, bro, they weren't like these world. I mean, they were a great team, but they weren't like these world beaters that you just had no shot of like beating every year. Yo, bro, it's like every single year they were like one game from being eliminated. They just happened to win like every game 7 or like every game 6. But yeah, those Celtics teams were tough, bro. They were tough.
Trying to say Bill Russell was one of the clutcher players ever? You trying?
Absolutely, that's a fact. And if you don't think so, you just don't know ball for him, man. You just don't know ball. It's cool.
He didn't even average 20 points per game, and he's one of the clutches.
And those 8 points, all in the fourth quarter. But you just don't know ball, bro. It's cool.
Yeah, I'm just here to push an agenda.
Team shot 35% from the floor, and their MVP Wilt Chamberlain took just 9 shot attempts and scored just 14 points, as the Celtics would end up winning 100-96. This would be the last game Wilt ever played with the Sixers, as he was traded to the Lakers that offseason. Phoenix Suns blowing a 2-0 lead in the 2021 NBA Finals. We find ourselves with another Chris Paul team. After years of playoff heartbreak and poorly timed injuries, Chris Paul finally made the NBA Finals in 2021 and looked amazing in the first 2 games to give the Suns
that's the Luka shit, right?
But let's just say it fell apart.
He were Bucks. That's why I said earlier.
He said the finals.
The last 4 games of the series, most of which were winnable games. But unfortunately, Giannis Antetokounmpo was just too overpowering and dominating, as he closed out the Suns in Game 6 with a legendary 50-point performance.
That's gonna be the Brody this series, man.
First NBA title since 1971. Portland Trailblazers blowing a 50-point lead in the fourth quarter of Game 7 in the 2000 Western Conference.
I ain't gonna lie.
2000 Trailblazers were absolutely loaded with talent. So much so that Jermaine O'Neal, a future MVP candidate and All-NBA player, rode the bench. Still, they ran into a 67-win juggernaut in the Lakers in Phil Jackson's first year, and the only MVP season of Shaq's career when he was at his apex. Because of this, they fell behind 3-1 after 4 games, but they fought back, winning Game 5 on the road and Game 6 at home to force the deciding Game 7 in LA. They came out kicking ass through 3 quarters, but as I alluded to in the fourth quarter,
W script NBA, W script.
Fell apart as they shot.
Whoa! This is a script he's breaking.
The
WWE bro.
The next 3 NBA championships, while the Trailblazers.
It's not a bad thing, Sage. I'm just saying, it was a great script. It's a great script.
Sacramento Kings blowing a 2-1 lead and a 3-2 lead in the 2002 Western Conference Finals, while losing Game 7 at home in overtime.
It's the script
again. We all know this series is famous for its questionable
Oh
appreciating
my
it.
Yo, Sage, listen, man. Now you acting like being scripted is like a bad thing. Aren't you a WWE fan, bro? Like,
bro, you just went on a soliloquy. You just got done saying, "Oh yeah, we just won all the close games." Well, coinky dink. But over here, it's a script.
oh no. Okay, let me take it back. Yeah, it was scripted in the '60s too. What the fuck?
Oh my god.
W script, bro. And this is what I'm saying.
It's
This year, it's not even about Bron, Curry, Tatum. The real man whose legacy is on the line is Adam Silver, bro. If you don't give us Lakers Celtics in the finals, you failed at your job.
It will be a fire script.
You failed at your job, bro. Stop it, bro. You know the finals we want.
Push the Lakers. Fuck it, you just tell
Yes,
that motherfucker
bro.
like a
Yes.
WWE there. Push the Lakers, bro. Fuck it, get LeBron a theme, bro.
Hey, that'd be good.
Hey, actually, if LeBron walks out to forever,
Come
oh my God, let him walk out to some Batista shit. But if he walks out to forever, oh yeah, the hood's going crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, give NBA players theme songs. Wait a minute. Give NBA players theme songs.
Hey, you know, Ja. There's a parade inside my city.
There's a parade inside my city. God.
But let's not overlook the fact that the Kings were one shot by Robert Horry away from going up 3-1.
The
After
Magnets?
losing Game 4 by 1 point on a buzzer beater, the Kings hung on to win by 1 point in Game 5 after Kobe bricked a shot at the buzzer. With
Hey,
2
stay
chances
down,
to
what the
go to
fuck?
the NBA Finals, the Kings lost the infamous
Oh,
Game
dumb
6
choking.
before having Game 7 at home at their home court, as I alluded to earlier. For all of the crying and complaining about the refereeing, the fact is that the Kings had many opportunities to put this game away, especially
Thank
in
you.
overtime. But in overtime, they went just 3 for 12 from the field and had no answer for Shaquille
Kinged it
O'Neal
up.
as the
You're
Lakers pulled
losers.
away to
Sorry.
win, and they would go on to win their third
And
straight
2023
championship,
though.
the
Okay.
last three-peat in North American sports to date. The Antonio Spurs, blowing a 3-2 lead in the 2013 NBA Finals, including a 5-point lead with
I
30 seconds left.
disagree.
in
There's
Game
probably
6.
another
One
one.
of the worst collapses of all time happened to one of the most respected
that's the
franchises
worst
of all
one,
time
bro.
in sports.
I
The
can't call
Spurs
that a
took 3-2
choke.
lead over the
It
66
just went left.
16
No, that's a choke. That's a choke. First of all, that
Is
rebound
that a
that Chris Bosh
choke?
got, Greg Popovich. Why was Tim Duncan
Okay,
not in the
okay,
fucking
that's true.
game?
That's
Number
true.
one. Number two, I think it was Game 7. If you rewatch that tape, that elbow dagger, Tim Duncan missed a wide open fucking layup, bro.
Yeah, he smoked
Wide
in and
open
smacked
layup.
his hands. I
Yeah.
remember that shit.
So instead of it being like a tie game going into that Bron dagger, now it's a 4-point game when Bron hits that dagger. Completely different game. They had a shot to win that shit, bro. They choked.
And I do think it's a level of choking. The reason why I think I'm assuming there's has to be something worse is because ultimately basketball is a sport where, and we know this, we ain't got it, and I'm gonna sound like the casual here, but we know this, basketball is a sport where shit just happens. Like, what the fuck do you do? Like, yes, Tim should have been in the game, but what do you do about a center smacking a ball to the corner and the nigga hitting the toughest shot in NBA history to go to overtime, and then at that point, LeBron's just like, yeah, nah, bro, you lost. Like, it's just, to say that's a choke that's tough. They lost. They blew it's weird as fuck. They blew the lead and lost, but I wouldn't say they choked, or the biggest choke ever. That's tough. I don't know. I'm not making sense with what I'm trying to say, but I feel like you know what I'm trying to say.
One win away from their 5th championship and their first in 6 years. After a furious
Oh my
comeback by
God.
LeBron James in the 4th quarter gave Miami the lead, the Spurs weathered the storm, taking the lead right back and forcing some turnovers to take a 94-89 lead with 30 seconds left. LeBron hit a 3, cutting it to 2,
what's
and then
funny?
Kawhi Leonard split a pair of
And
free
this
throws,
isn't
making
LeBron
it a
hate
3-point
propaganda.
game. LeBron missed a 3.
We
and it was
remember
rebounded
LeBron
famously
hitting all
by
the
Chris Bosh
clutch
and
shots
kicked
and
out
then
to
missing
Ray
the
Allen
lead
for a
dagger.
famous game
Can be
tying
regarded
3
as
with
clutch.
5 seconds
But
left.
like
The
any
game
other
went into
player,
overtime, which Miami
missed
held
that
on
shot,
to
bro,
win. Game
lows.
7 just
It's
felt like an
crazy,
inevitable
bro.
Miami win, and that's exactly what happened. But Game 7 in its own right was a classic game, going down to the final minute, including Tim Duncan missing 2
Y'all
point-blank
fucking love
bunnies
Dwayne
that would have
Wade, bro.
tied the
Yeah,
game.
this one right
before
here?
LeBron
That
put
right
the
right
game
there?
away for good
Yeah,
on the next
yeah.
possession by making
You
a
went
shot
back.
to give the Heat a 4-point lead. Miami ended up winning Game 7 by 7 to repeat as champions and sending the Spurs home in heartbreak. But the Spurs would get their revenge a year later, winning the 5th and
100%.
final final championship in the Tim Duncan era
Hey.
over the hated Miami Heat.
Hey.
Toronto Raptors getting
Hey.
swept in the 2018 Eastern Conference semifinals after winning 59 games. All you need to know about how the 2018 Raptors season went was they ran into LeBron James in the second round, and they did not have a good time. They lost at the buzzer in Game 1.
Yo, did you see the meme surfacing as
LeBron
late?
had his infamous off-the-backboard game-winning shot in Game 3
Like they won't be
that
pulling
effectively
Norman
ended the
Powell
series
jersey,
before Cleveland
talking
brought
to
it
him
in
like
Game
he's
4.
their
This
literal
was the last
father.
straw for
This shit
DeRozan
is
in
funny.
Toronto as the Raptors traded for Kawhi Leonard that offseason. This trade, mixed with LeBron going to the West and some injuries by the Warriors, resulted in the Raptors winning the title in 2019. But that doesn't change the fact that they got their ass kicked in 2018 pretty badly. Utah
100%.
Jazz choking away fourth quarter leads in games 1,
100%.
5, and 6 of the 1997 NBA
I
Finals.
know about
It
this
took
one,
the
actually.
duo of John Stockton and Karl Malone 12 seasons together to finally make an NBA Finals. 12 is an important number to Karl Malone, but I won't get into
Oh
that
my
right
God.
now. Here's what you need to know. Basically, Karl Malone not only is a terrible person, but he's also one of the biggest chokers in NBA history. He choked away Game 1
Greg
with the foul
Oster
line.
tag.
Game
Come on.
5 was MJ's famous flu
Hey,
game, where
just
Karl
shout out
Malone
on my
disappeared
man
late in the fourth
Greg.
quarter. And Game 6 was the infamous
him. Can't
Steve
even get the
Kerr
board.
game-winning
What's up
shot
with you?
where the Jazz missed a bunch of layups and a bunch of open shots.
Look at him.
And
Look at him.
basically, they could have very
Greg.
easily beaten the Bulls if they had just made a couple more shots. But thankfully for Chicago, Michael Jordan willed all of those shots out of the basket with his killer instinct, something that LeBron James has yet to learn. And finally, the Washington Wizards, who really
Yeah, we do
haven't
not
been
care. We can stop right here.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
It's not the-
DMV nigga right here. We do not care.
Yeah, we do not care. Sorry, some West Unself bullshit. We do not care. All right, man. Listen, shout out to Barry for the video. It's been a minute since we reacted to an NBA Barry video. So go ahead, check out his channel. Go ahead, check out the video link in the description. But with that being said, season 6. I don't know what to tell you. Catch you on the next one, man. Peace out.
Lakers in 5. I told you. Y'all have a good day.